Welcome to Game Recognized Game. I'm Myles Turner, 11-year NBA vet, center for the Milwaukee Bucks, along with my co-host, 3-time WNBA champion, Breanna Stewart, a.k.a. Stewie. Got a nice episode today, man. It's just me and you. Let's kick it off.
I know. Let's talk a little bit about All-Star activities. What'd you end up doing?
Kind of cool, man. So the very first day of All-Star, me and my girl Asia, we actually flew out to St. George, Utah, and drove about an hour, took a nap, and visited the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. They're the largest no-kill sanctuary in the entire U.S. It sits on like 40,000 acres of land and 3,000 acres which they use. And, you know, I have my Casper Foundation, which we talked about, our animal advocacy group. And it was cool, man. I got to meet the owners and the founders of the Best Friends, and it just made a really good connection, man. We were out there with it's actually really cool, man. They got like a puppy world, a cat world. There's horses, donkeys, pigs, and
like people can just go out there? Like anybody can go visit?
Yeah, it's to the public, so they take donations. Nice. You just go out there. I think it was like maybe $15 just to get in. You can do whatever you want. Like they have a whole like overnight, stay you can do at a hotel with an animal of your choosing. You know what I mean? It's actually it's pretty cool, man. Like I said, it's kind of like an hour outside of St. George, Utah, and beautiful scenery out there. It's the high desert, mountains, like red rocks, and it was pretty sick. So yeah, we spent a day out there, and then after that, man, I was just on the couch chilling, man. We watched a lot of Love Is Blind, So that's about it.
I'm not caught up, so don't tell me what happened. I'm like, don't talk. We're not talking about that on this podcast.
Chris, just know there's a menace to society. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man. So one thing I think was pretty cool today, we saw the men's hockey team and the women as well. They both won gold medals, at the Winter Olympics. And I guess, you have plenty of experience there. I mean, just speak to that, man. What does it mean and what does it feel like to stand on the podium? You know what I mean? Just getting that gold medal, hear the national anthem play. Like what kind of feelings are going on?
Yeah, I mean, definitely shout out to USA men's and women's hockey to win the gold medal. The feelings that you feel is just an immense amount of pride. And, we saw it a little bit most recently with the men because first gold medal in 46 years. Like the dude that hit the game-winning goal, he got his teeth knocked out by the stick. I saw that. Like it was But I think the best part about it was, the pride that they carry, representing your country, hearing that national anthem happen, watching the flag raise, and you have the highest accomplishment in sports hanging around your neck. So it was really cool to be a part of. I will have to say I'm not very knowledgeable about hockey. So I think I'm going to try and learn more about that because the sudden death rules, I didn't know. I didn't know that it's 3-on-3. It was a little bit crazy.
Yeah, have you ever been to an NHL game before?
I went to the Islanders in New York, and I've gone to the Kraken in Seattle. So we've gone a few times, but I don't know. On TV, it looks really hard to find the puck, and I know that's gonna come back to me, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell?" But that thing goes so fast.
Indeed, bro, and it's just the way I can't skate to save my life. So, I mean, I can imagine, just the kind of stability they got in their core, their hips to go out there and do what they're doing, man. But all in all, I will say it's an electric, playoff environment. I've been to a couple of Dallas Star games. I went to a Nashville Predators game, and, man, that environment in the playoffs is, unreal. And, unlike the NBA, they be out there fighting, man, getting to it. You know what I mean? It's just a different type of rumble.
And they're just like, doom, doom.
With the helmets on, too, man. It's just a different type of rumble, for real. But as we alluded to, man, we got a big episode today, y'all. Just we're going to start getting into the tanking problem in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can learn a little bit from the W. I don't know either, but, it is what it is.
We're also going to talk about Unrivaled. The regular season is ending soon, and we're getting ready for the playoffs. And what did I learn in year 2? I think that what we learned in year 2 is more teams and more players is definitely better for everybody. Just making sure that, teams are able to play. You either play Friday, Sunday, or Saturday, Monday. Year 1, we had to have back-to-back. So, certain teams would have back-to-backs. And the game is kind of so tiring and physical because you're never in help side. You're never in weak side that it was hard to play and be ready in a back-to-back. So we're just really making sure that we're taking care of players' bodies as a whole and really being conscientious of that. But
man, I'm excited to just hear about the exponential growth potential that y'all got, man. But yeah. And you know what it is, man. We're gonna get a little personal with it. We're gonna go to Stewie's parent corner, and as well as new to Stewie, where I'm gonna give her a little lesson or two. y'all have to see what's up. All right, well, let's get right to it, man. Let's talk about Unrivaled. Congrats Chelsea Gray, which
You picked her. Good
hey,
job.
you know what I'm saying?
Take that.
I know
Take
it's
the
like
credit.
I may have listed 7 others, but I listed Chelsea Gray. She was my pick to win the 1v1 tourney. And yeah, man. Again, like I said in the past, she's one of my favorite players to watch. Man, I saw her hit that little like double Kobe Hakeem shimmy the other day. That was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Where she
yeah,
like
man.
bounced it and then shimmied
Yeah.
and got it. Yeah.
Nah, she got ones for real, man. That was dope. But yeah, man, the Unrivaled regular season ends. Playoffs start this weekend. And I guess you kind of already alluded to, what you've like learned. But just as a founder of the league, man, like how do you see your guys like just growth, coming, from year 1 to year 2? It's been fun to watch, but what potentially, do we got planned for the future?
Yeah, we got some big things planned for the future. Can't really tell you too much about them right now.
Right.
But we will be the first to report it on the podcast in later podcasts.
Hey, you heard it here first.
I think that, for us, it's year 1, we exceeded expectations. And year 2, we are also exceeding expectations. We had a sellout in Philly. We're going to go to Barclays for the semis. Like, that's going to be another sellout where 22,000 people are constantly being able to watch us. And not only is it an incredible fan experience, are we traveling more to reach other fans, but also making sure that the players are here, they're able to get all that they need to develop and be better and get ready for what's coming up after this season. And that's what I'm most proud of. As a founder, it's like there's a business perspective of it as well, and making sure that we continue to grow and add partnerships with the people that have the same alignment as us and the same view as us. And I don't know. We just keep raising the bar. So it's going to be hard to keep beating ourselves. But year 2, we're definitely doing that. And I'm really excited for the playoff push. My Miss team has to be at Barclays, okay? We are not
Gotta
there
represent.
yet. We don't have a top 2 pick. We're not top 2 yet. So we need to get it together. And if we don't, we're going to fight the hard way and go through the quarters. But we have to be in Barclays.
All right, no, I want that for y'all so bad, man. Just for you personally, obviously being a little home cooking there. All right, well, name a player that I guess you saw just maybe whether it's this year, whether it's last year altogether, like in that 3-on-3 setting, like that's better than you thought they'd be.
Ooh, player in the 3-on-3 that's better than I thought they'd be. I mean, this question is kind of setting me up to fail a little bit. But I think somebody who's so fast and so shifty in 3-on-3 that wasn't here last year is Kelsey Mitchell. And know her. But her change of pace, her speed, her ability to shoot the 3 and really attack the rim and put pressure on the rim, it has been really fun to watch. It's not been fun to guard when we have to play against her. But I literally feel like every time I watch her play, I'm like, she's so fast. Like, she's so fast. Dude. I can't say anything else, but she's so fast.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to see her kind of get her rhythm here and know that, it's only going to continue to get better for her.
Yeah, I like Kelsey Mitchell a lot, man. She was in my McDonald's All-American, class 2014. Just watching her ascension from there to Ohio State to the league, like it's been pretty fun, man. Obviously, I got to watch her close up and personal in Indiana the past couple of years, but she's still doing it, man. Shout out to Kelsey Mitchell. I know this made headlines as well. We got the return of the Bayou Barbie. Out there, Angel Reese made her debut on Friday. And how did y'all, I guess, make that happen? What was the reaction?
I think we were really excited to have Angel come back. I think that honestly, from like the player perspective, part of me, I was a little bit surprised. I didn't think it was going to happen. We were definitely hoping to kind of get her back next year, but to get her after the one-on-one break, there's 4 regular season games left. She's a big part of what the Rose do and how they won a championship last year. And I know, Ka and Nola and Chelsea really wanted her back on that team. And the fans loved it. Friday she came out and she did her thing. She got right to her spots. She was disruptive offensively and defensively. The Rose did not get the win, but I think that, they got their second game coming up tomorrow. And I'm sure they're going to be... No. I'm lying. They're about to play right now. So we'll see what happens and if they can get that first win with Angel back.
Yeah, man. I think that she's obviously she she carries herself, how she carries herself. And I think, if anything, that just brings more and more eyes, to Unrivaled itself. Obviously her play will speak for herself, but just she has a big stature, people has a great following as well. And people obviously rock with how she gets down. So if anything, it's great for the league, in my opinion, just from outside, looking in.
Definitely. I mean, shout out to Angel, a young player who continues to kind of handle and carry herself with grace and shows up and does the job. So we're happy that she's back here at Unrivaled. Switching to you a little bit, if you had to choose a 3-on-3 team, who are your two other teammates?
Oh, okay. Obviously I space the floor, so I need someone to get a little shifty, get downhill. I got to go Kyrie for sure. Kyrie Irving. I definitely have him out there just because there's really nothing he can't do. He can post up, he can shoot, he can handle the ball. He's point guard at that, point guard. So I'll throw him out there. And then you don't need no big. I'm already out there. That'd be unfair, but I'm throwing Steph in there too. You got Steph and Kyrie, someone who can space like that. I'm obviously holding things down defensively. And Kyrie's getting just mixing blend. Yeah, I'm gonna go Kyrie and Steph and myself. That'd be an easy little 3-on-3 right there.
I like that. And I mean, listen, that would be an unstoppable trio for sure.
Facts.
If you had to do all-time greatest 3-on-3, who would you pick?
All-time greatest 3-on-3, like including myself or just like three?
Yeah.
Like three.
Like listen, myself? But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be like current players. It can be like MJ or whoever you want. Who would you put 3-on-3?
Okay. I'm definitely going Shaq because he's the most dominant player to ever play, and there's really nothing he can do, especially in a 3-on-3 setting. There's no help. He's just gonna kill whoever's in front of him. So for sure, I'm going Shaq. And then he got myself, and then we need a guard. We got two bigs. I guess shooting's important in 3-on-3 as well. Defensively, man, give me Larry Bird, man. Give me Larry Bird, dog. Yeah, for real. Shout out to Larry, man. I'm not sure if people know this or not, but Larry's actually the person that drafted me. He was the president of the Pacers, and he sought me out. And I think it was really cool. Just something I have for myself, man. I have my draft jersey. I mean, he signed it, and it's just some legendary, stuff right there, man. So big shout out to Larry Bird for even just giving me an opportunity and believing in me myself. And yeah, man, I think that'd be an unstoppable 3 right there.
That's really, really cool. Definitely shout out to Larry Bird. Shout out to Shaq too. Come on. You know what? Maybe it can just happen in like a charity type of game or something like that.
All right, I'm not mad at that, man. Bring about retirement a little bit. I think Shaq still got it, man. He's still,
for sure. He just going doom, hitting in the hands, doom. This is me dunking.
Yeah, bro.
Would you ever consider playing 3-on-3 in the Olympics?
Bro, of course. Anytime I'd had a chance to, win an Olympic gold medal, I'd throw myself out there for sure. I think it's obviously a different environment. And
top
just
court. It's like it's very different, yeah.
It's cool. No, I've seen the women's game, quite a bit. I think it's something that's obviously expanding and obviously growing. But if I had to throw my hat in there, I definitely would. I think it'd be cool. And like, it's just anything with wearing USA across your chest to being a real the highest I played. I got to play in the FIBA World Cup in 2019. Representing Team USA, and like that was again just an unreal honor. We went to Australia, went to China, and I'm sure you have experience with it as well. Like it's funny how everyone just roots for you to lose. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're literally just the enemy everywhere you go, right? And then, man, the environment was just so insane, bro. I just remember being like this is like right before COVID happened. So people were outside, man. It was just a dope environment over there in China. They love basketball over there in China. And it's just if I had a chance to do it again, I definitely would take them up on it.
All right, period. You heard it here first. We might be seeing something in LA 2028.
So big ups. Congrats on clinching a playoff spot. Do you predict the Mist will win it all?
I mean, I have to go with my team. I know we still got some games to finalize our seeding and our spot, but I've had a lot of fun with them, just gelling, and it's an unselfish group. And we know what's at stake. Like, listen, on the whiteboard in our locker room in the top left corner, we have $100,000 there written because that's the prize money per player is $100,000 if you win the championships, and max it's 1, 2, 3, 6 games left. Anybody? 6 games? 5 games? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 games left. Max 5 games left. Anything can happen, and I like our odds for sure.
I love it. Stay present, man. It's a lot you can do $100,000 now. That's dope. All right. So who's your MVP so far? Your unrivaled MVP so far this season?
Ooh, honestly, the MVP is tough.
Mhm.
All right. If I had to look at like the top 3 teams, you got Plum, who's really leading the way with
Mhm.
the Phantom. Aaliyah Boston, she's also a double
Mhm.
double nightmare. So either one of those. Brittany Sykes with the laces. I think she's
Mhm.
averaging like 20 something a night. Um,
That's impressive in 3-on-3. Yeah.
Jackie's
Yeah.
doing her usual, like hard to guard, 2-way player. And then okay, on my team it's Leash. Leash is I don't know what she just had 37 last night. She had 37, I had 30. We both had like 30 balls, and I saw the Spider-Man meme of it just like us pointing back to
There you
each other.
go.
So I don't know. I think the MVP is a tough one to really decide. But if you're gonna go like best team, you probably go Plum or AB.
Mhm.
But Leisha's been balling, Chelsea's been balling, Paige, everybody's been balling. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, and to your point, I guess you got to wait to see, right? You said you got 5-6 games left, and
Yeah.
MVP is all about, again, the most valuable, player itself, like who's really helping their team win the most, So, yeah, man, I think that is to your point. It's anybody's at this point. I think it's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
we'll see what happens with the last 2 regular season games, and then I'll have like an actual solid pick.
All right, y'all. It's time for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about tanking from the player's perspective and what the NBA can do about it. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles, wherever you get your podcast, man. Please.
Welcome back to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles. And let's get right into it. The NBA even acknowledged that tanking is an issue. So let's be honest. Tanking is a problem in the NBA? Yes or no?
I think it's just a matter of perspective, honestly. I think that one thing I could tell you just off rip is that, people say that organizations are the ones that tank, not players. I'll tell you from my perspective, no player is going out there and intentionally trying to lose ever. I don't care what stage of the game that you're in. That just doesn't happen amongst the 450. I can just go ahead and tell you that off rip, The word tanking is a very taboo thing in our league. You know what I mean? It's, there's been some, I'm not going to say who, not going to say which teams, but there's been some obvious, signs of it happening this season to the point where the NBA had to step in and, say something.
Yeah.
Adam Silver came out, this past All-Star break and or All-Star weekend and, had to address it. And it's interesting because, for some organization, it's worked. You know what I mean? You have guys that have been bottom feeders or laughing stocks of the league, and now they're, a top team in this league.
Yeah.
And then it hasn't panned out very well for some teams as well because they've been trying to tank for 5-6+ years now. There's no guarantee that if you tank that you're going to get that top pick that you're quote unquote tanking for. So to some people, it's a problem. I think it is an integrity of a game, type of thing. There's times where you can stunt the development of your younger players when you're quote unquote trying to tank. You got veterans that'll be on the team that are wasting their prime years in the midst of a tanking or losing season, if you will. So it'd be very interesting to see, what the NBA does, next year, trying to step in and, I don't know, kind of change the game because there's been a whole bunch of different things to suggest. Like they said, maybe there's like a tournament at the end of the year, you know what I mean, to see who amongst the losing teams to see who would get the top pick as opposed to the lottery balls or.
Yeah, it would be cool to like play for the top pick instead of like play not for the top. You know what I mean? Like,
no, absolutely. And I think that the NBA has done an incredible job of like introducing like the in-season tournament, right? Or like the play-in tournament. Like it's gotten more and more views. So you keep on kind of adding iterations to our game or just wrinkles or whatnot. Who knows what viewership and, sponsorship money comes in from stuff like that. I also think that it just depends. Like, we have a pretty decent draft class, coming up. This year.
Yeah.
And there's some prize picks and prize possessions that guys are really trying to, or I guess we can call them assets. Prize assets that these organizations are trying to get their hands on. So to some people, it's worth, if the season's lost before All-Star break, I think that's when teams are like, you know what, let's try to press the big red panic button. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again,
have you ever been a part of an organization like that?
Well, I've only been part of 2 organizations, so I can neither confirm nor deny. What I will say is like kind of true to like my first statement. Like I have never as a player intentionally gone out there and tried to lose, in hopes of getting a draft pick next year. Like again, it's just one of those things that are like taboo. Players aren't going out there trying to lose. So I like, and to all the fans watching or listening right now, like I can tell y'all straight up, like that's just it's an integrity thing that like guys just don't really stand for, like in our league and whatnot. But this is a business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? There are the powers that be. You know, there are some front offices that, you know, say, hey, we got to press the big red panic button. And, you know, they feel like they have to do what they have to do, you know, to save face with the organizations. So I don't know, man. It's a very tricky subject. And I don't know, man. It's just it gets very interesting when you start thinking about the future because billions of dollars are at stake, you know, at the end of the day. So yeah, is tanking as much of an issue in WNBA? Like, consider you can argue that it'd be more effective due to less total teams in the league, you know, bigger stars coming out of the league.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I might get in trouble for this answer, but I think it's like definitely happening in the WNBA, you know, because it's the tanking is to get the highest draft pick. It's the 2 seasons combined. So like if last season was bad and this season's not going to be much better for you, like you're going to be fine if you don't win because you're trying to get a top pick coming out of the draft. You know, and it really depends on what the draft is. Sometimes there's generational players happening and sometimes there's not. And when there is those, you want to make sure that your team is going to be a part of that. So I think it happens. I mean, I think that, you know, the way you can see it in the NBA, like why some people are sitting out or why some subs are happening or why it's like not making as much sense. You know, you have to go back and watch that film to really figure that out. But people, when there's an important draft pick coming in the W, and they got a chance to get that, they're going to try and go get that.
And that makes sense. You know, I think that, again, it's an organizational thing. You know, I think that, again, you know, I can neither confirm nor deny, but the Dallas Wings done got the damn #1 pick the past few years in a row now, man. I've been to plenty of Wings games, and I just see top prospects every year. So I find that kind of intriguing. But, you know. Like
they had the #1 pick last year, and they have the #1 pick this year again. So that happens more often than not. Seattle had the #1 pick 2 years in a row. I think San Antonio, Vegas had the #1 pick 2 years in a row. And we'll see what happens as more teams continue to come into the WNBA and how that'll really kind of work and finesse itself out. Time for one more break. Next up, we go off the court and get personal. Welcome back to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles. Before we get off the court, we have a few questions that I need answers to. NBA fights. We just saw one the other night between Memphis and Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Myles, have you ever been in a fight in the NBA? And why do they keep happening more and more often?
For me personally, man, I've never really been in a real fight. I've been in a tussle. You know, a couple tussles here and there, you feel me? But not no real fight, man. I think it's kind of funny thing in the NBA, right? Like, we all kind of know that there's security right there, right? So, like, it's going to be about maybe 4 or 5 seconds of action. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, me and Rudy Gobert got tangled up, right? I think I was on the ground and I think I can't remember if he like tripped me or something, but it was something like super obvious. And then, I don't know, we were just kind of going back and forth all game. And I kind of came up and just pushed him a little bit. Then nothing really happened. Like, we kind of just like locked up and whatnot. There was a bunch of memes going on about it too. It was funny. It was like it really wasn't anything crazy. But yeah, we kind of locked up for a second. But like, you know, to my point, 5 seconds later, you know, teammates are coming trying to bring it up. Security runs on the floor, refs, you know, whoever. So there isn't really like a fighting issue in the league. It's just tensions just rise at times, you know. You know, everybody talks shit. That's part of the game. You know, that's just going to happen regardless. And I think that it makes the game better. But sometimes lines get crossed. You know, people, you know, get a little personal. I've never really been no real like actual like, you know, fist thrown type of fights, but I've seen, you know, quite a few. You know what I mean? I feel like in the NBA side, if you throw a punch, like, you're automatically suspended. Like, as you probably saw with, you know, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Miles Bridges, and all that stuff that happened a couple weeks ago. And also, like, if you, just like any other sport, like if you cross the line, you know, you're sitting on the bench, that's like an automatic suspension as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to ask that because I heard the announcer saying you leave the bench, it's automatic suspension. What is it, just one game? Like, you're suspended?
Well, it depends. Like, if you cross that line, it's one. But then Isaiah Stewart kind of took it to another level because he actually, you know, threw a punch and whatnot. And he got lucky, man, because I really thought that he'd get a lot more games because sometimes the NBA tries to make an example out of players and whatnot. But I think what the average fan doesn't realize is those game checks matter. Like, you're losing millions of dollars by every time you miss a game and whatnot. So if you miss... Man, okay, let's say this just for numbers' sake, you make $10 million a year and whatnot. If you get suspended like 10 games and there's 82 games in a year, that's literally what, 8 to 10% of like a game check right there. Like that's a lot of money, coming out of your pockets and whatnot. So I think that's another thing, players are conscientious of as well. Some of your guys that are making, 30, 50 million dollars, they might not care as much, but yeah, man, like fighting in the league is just funny, man, because, it's only going to last 4 or 5 seconds. It's going to be a viral clip on the internet because everyone wants to blow it up. But shit doesn't really happen on the floor. If anything, it might happen like in the tunnel or, outside of the game itself. And that's kind of where things get a little more serious. So, yeah.
Doesn't really happen as much in the WNBA. That's for sure.
Y'all definitely be barking a little bit, though. I will say that.
Women, there's like some shit talking, but we don't get to that. Like
y'all get personal, bro. For real, I just know that from firsthand experience. Women shit talks a little different. Y'all get uber personal.
Yeah, sometimes we can't let it go. It's fine.
Like hair grabbing, hair pulling, and shit. Like it's different. Yeah, man. So we said like not as much fighting in the W, but like what's some of like what is the craziest environment you've ever played in?
The craziest environment I ever played in, I don't know if this is the craziest, but this is like the one that I keep thinking about because we touched on Olympics at the beginning of the pod, was the 2024 Olympics where we were playing France in France for the gold medal game. And it was like everyone was cheering against you. Like you said before, it's like you play you're representing USA and nobody's cheering for you. Everybody's like cheering against you. And it literally came down to the wire. Listen, Gabby shot a long 2. We were up 3. Gabby shot a long 2. We won the game by 1 point. I'll never forget it. But yeah, like that's like the highest of the high. The pressure's all time. You're playing in the most hostile environment possible for a gold medal. And I'm happy that we barely came out alive.
Yeah, a lot of foreigners will speak to that. Like they grew up, like it is their main goal to beat the U.S. You know what I mean? Like they had that like, written on their walls, or it's like, they grew up and watched their teams almost do it, or like it's like every foreigner's goal, like to beat the USA. It's very intriguing. All
right, now we're gonna go off the court, and then we're gonna go into my parent corner. And the advice that I have for this week is, it is now blizzarding in New York again. I thought that the snow would be over and it's coming back. I'm not sure if it's snowing where you are, but it's snowing in New York. And you have to make sure you always have snow pants. We didn't have snow pants. We didn't have snow boots. We only had gloves and jackets. And Marta was on like a mad hunt to find snow pants so the kids could go outside and play in the snow with snow boots. Like Tim's work sometimes, but they're not really snow boots. So be ready. Winter is not over and it's still coming. So if you need some snow pants or snow boots, please go get them.
Fair enough. I guess that's definitely we don't have to worry about that down south too much. I mean, being in Texas, but my girl is from Maine and she definitely enjoys being in New England. So we definitely have to, might spend some time up there in the future. So yeah, all right. Well, mine is the complete opposite. Mine's a little more lighthearted, a little more fun. I'm not sure what you and Marta do, just like spare times when you don't have the kids or you just mingle and have fun and whatnot. But me and Asia, one of our favorite things to do is play couch co-op games. You know, you familiar with that? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
All right. So, I think we all grew up with the game system and whatnot, right? You got PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Switch, whatever it may be. It's something that's picking up a lot more steam. It was popular when we were kids, but it's really big now. It's something called, just couch co-op. So exactly what it sounds like. We literally sit on the couch and we play games together. And it's not like your typical Call of Duty like video game.
Okay.
These are strategic games where you have to work together to get a common goal. So some of our favorite games are, one's called Split Fiction. There's one called It Takes Two and one called Unrivaled 2. Now, the reason we like these games so much is because it will definitely test your relationship. Because when you're sitting there, I grew up playing video games, right? And Asia, she's pretty good at video games, but like you literally have to work as a team to accomplish something or to get like past a level and whatnot, right? There's another one called Overcooked 2. That's one of our favorite ones to play. You should look these up when you're done. Like when we're done with this, this dope.
Can I play with them on any console or like what do I need?
So, I mean, typically what we'll do is like, we'll just have, like, we got our PlayStation and we just got 2 controllers and we're literally sitting on the couch playing together. But there is like online co-op and our local co-op and all that type of stuff. But couch co-op is like the way to do it. Trust me.
Okay.
Overcooked is one of our favorites because like you have to basically say like we had to bake like I don't know, like an apple pie or something like that. You have to like get all the ingredients. You have to have like the flour, the eggs, the milk, the sugar, whatever, the apples. But you have to cut up all the apples. You have to like, mix the flour and all that type of stuff. But like the level itself is doing some like crazy shit the entire time. Like sometimes like the map flips. Sometimes all like you have to go like chase the order. Sometimes just people like pushing you out the way. Like again, you have to have to like work together, have a common goal.
Marco's gonna love this.
Overcooked 2 is like one of our favorites for sure. And I guarantee y'all have fun with that one. But one of the best ones, like kind of what I alluded before, is called Split Fiction. Split Fiction is a lot of fun because it's basically like you have there's these 2 girls that are coming together like, and they're trying to pitch like their ideas for like a video game like company or something like that, right? One girl does like a sci-fi fantasy world and whatnot, and another one does like a kind of like what would I describe it? Like kind of like a fairy tale like type of land and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And they both basically you kind of flip flop from both worlds and whatnot, and you have like different powers and all that type of stuff, like each and every level. You know what I mean? And again, like you have to like kind of work together like to get a common goal, like to win. You know what I mean? One person can be really good at video games, the other person is just okay. If y'all aren't on the same level or y'all don't like work together, like you'll never like beat the game itself. So I don't know, man. Like it's just
I'm gonna have to check back in about that. I'm gonna check back in about the couch co-op.
Yeah, for sure. Start with Overcooked 2. I promise you. Start with Overcooked. That one's like one of the more fun ones to get into because it's lighthearted, but then it like just comes out of nowhere. It turns out like you have to have communication. Like it's fun. And I think it's like a relationship builder, if anything.
Marta, if you're listening, get ready.
All right, y'all. Thanks for checking us out. You can be a part of the show. Send us your questions to our social channels and leave comments on the YouTube videos. Please subscribe to Game Recognized Game wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time.